Hi, my name is Devin Peterson, and today our question to answer is, what is an in-kind donation? So an in-kind donation is when an individual wants to make a donation to charity and uses a different strategy or different way. Most of us are used to writing a check or paying cash to a charity of our choice, whether that's a church, a hospital, or any nonprofit organization. But today we want to share with you a specific tax strategy that can make it a little bit easier to have some additional tax benefits by thinking outside of the box a little bit. So an in-kind donation is just that. It's giving a specific asset that's been appreciated over time to charity as opposed to just cash or a check. But before I start, I want to share a simple story with you that illustrates the power of an in-kind donation. Recently, I was teaching a charitable giving class at a local community center, and while briefly talking about an in-kind donation, there was a woman in my class, we'll call her Janice, that had a light bulb go off in her head as she realized that her husband, her late husband, had an investment account that he had managed for many years. And inside of that account, she vaguely remembers there being some appreciated assets or some assets that had gained additional value over several year time period. And so I challenged her to go back, look up her statements and bring it back, and so we can see exactly what the appreciation value is and if there's a better way for her to donate to charity. Now, Janice donated on a monthly basis to her local church, and she had been just writing checks for that or paying cash for that. And it wasn't until after that we reviewed her accounts, saw the appreciation, and then she determined a few of those appreciated assets that she wanted to donate directly to her church, that she simplified her life a little bit and donated enough of those appreciated assets to fulfill her charitable desires for the next 5 years. Now, that might not always be the case, but for her, it simplified the way that she gave and was able to reduce significantly the taxes that she would have paid as she had cashed out those assets, paid the taxes on them, and then made the donations. So simple enough. There's two types of in-kind donations that we want to briefly talk about. The first are securities, just like the case with Janice. In her case, it was mutual funds and stocks that she decided to donate. And then the other type of an in-kind donation are goods and services, meaning a used car or real estate or artwork or food or clothing. Now, and these are also some good ways to donate to charity. They do have some taxable benefits, but we'll talk about those a little bit in another video on in-kind donations, goods and services. But for this video, in-kind donations, securities, we want to talk about how you do that and what are some of the benefits from those. So securities, they could be bonds, mutual funds, stocks, REITs, any type of appreciated asset that's held in a securities format. Now, the benefits of an in-kind donation are powerful but pretty simple. They are what we call a double tax benefit. Now, you'll see a little bit later on in this example that we share, but these appreciated assets, you bought them at one value and they gained or earned interest up to another value. So it's an appreciated or a gained asset value. Now, the first part of this double benefit is once you donate it to charity, you're able to donate the higher value of the two. If you bought a stock at $10 and appreciates to $20, when you donate it to charity, you get to write off the $20 value. So that's the first part of that double benefit. The second part about that double benefit is that you permanently avoid the 15% capital gains tax that you would have otherwise paid if you would have cashed it out. So using that same simple example, you bought something for 10, it appreciated to 20. If you were to sell that additional 10 that you had earned, you would pay 15% capital gains tax on it. But as you do an in-kind donation, you permanently avoid those 15% capital gains tax in that donation. So double benefits there. This next part is it reduces your taxable income and also maximizes your deductions. And so it going as an in-kind donation, most families find it very beneficial that they don't have to sell something and take it as income first, adding to their income, and then get a tax deduction from it. There's a lot of value in just sending it directly to that charity. Now, Lastly, I want to share with you just a quick example about what that looks like. And so as you can see in this illustration, you as the donor are the one that owns that appreciated asset and want to gift those securities in the form of an in-kind donation. So as you can see in number 1, it actually is given directly to the charity of your choice. And then you'll see in arrow number 2, you receive back a tax deduction. In this case, the full amount of the appreciated security. And then in number 3, you'll see that that is actually sold by the charity. And because it's a nonprofit organization, there's no taxes at all that the charity will have to pay. And so it's a strong donation that increases the amount that actually goes to the charity, and no taxes actually paid to the IRS at all. Now lastly, before we finish up this video, I want to make sure that it's understood as well that an in-kind donation, if we're donating a security, it needs to be held for longer than a 12-month period. In that case, we can take advantage of these double tax benefits. So we appreciate you joining us here on Brighter Wealth TV. Again, feel free to subscribe below and reach out if you have any questions on any type of charitable donations. Thank you so much.